Hey Wobble Gang, I do hope you are doing great. My name is Ollie. Hit that subscribe button if you love a good Reddit story. All right, let's get into our first story of the day. Our first story of the day comes from Busy Top, 6,281 in the marriage subreddit. And it says, my wife, 24 female, hid that she can't have kids, and I, 27 male, just found out after 6 years together. I don't know what to do. My wife and I have been together for 6 years and married for 3. We built a happy marriage and a stable, comfortable life. Once everything felt settled, we decided to start a family. From the very beginning, I was clear about wanting a big family, 4 or 5 kids, and she always said she was on board. After a year of trying with no success, I got myself checked and everything came back fine. That's when she sat me down for a serious talk. She finally told me that before we got together, she had a medical procedure due to some health issues, and she's known this entire time that her chances of getting pregnant were negligible. I just went numb. Everything after that felt like a blur. She broke down crying and apologized over and over. I couldn't process it. I just left, despite her begging me to stay and talk. It's been 3 days. I've just been drifting around the city and staying with my sister. After a non-stop barrage of calls and messages from my wife, I snapped and destroyed my phone to get some peace. So, no contact for 3 days. My sister went to our place to grab some work stuff for me and said my wife is completely shattered. She kept begging my sister to convince me to come home and talk to her. I don't know what to do. I don't even know what hurts more. Her hiding it from me all these years, letting me believe we had a real chance, or the fact that I still can't bring myself to hate her. My mind keeps spiraling, and I don't feel ready to face her or talk about it. I just feel lost. What should I do? Oh my goodness, where do I even start with this one? The emotional roller coaster this poor guy is on must be absolutely off the charts. The wife hiding something so monumental as the ability to have children for 6 entire years. I mean, what in the world? And here's the thing, right? I get that people sometimes have secrets, but this? A secret that completely changes the course of your life. I mean, that's beyond the pale. And what was the eventual plan here? Hoping it would magically sort itself out? But then, bloody hell, it's tough, isn't it? Because you can feel the rawness and the hurt pouring out of him, and yet, he mentions he can't bring himself to hate her. That, right there, that's some deep, complex emotions writhing around. The spouse is devastated too, and it sort of speaks to a love that was genuinely there, even if her actions were a complete shambles. How do you forgive, or even begin to process this colossal breach of trust in a marriage? Look, guys, I know relationships and trust are delicate, but this seems like a hurricane just tore through their lives. What do you even do in this situation? Honestly, if I were him, the first step would be to get space to breathe. Then maybe professional help could untangle this mess, because it's a rock and a hard place kind of scenario. And if you're watching, tell me, what would you do? This one's hefty. Answers on a postcard, please, because I'm right beside our storyteller on this shipwreck. Unbelievable stuff, really. What's your take?
A Reddit user says, just go your separate ways. You are both still young. You have plenty of time to have your big family, and she will find someone else. OP Pop's response, I really loved her. I feel like my head is going to explode with all the thoughts. A Reddit user says, well, she was 18 when you got together, and 21 when you got married. That's very young, and I think it's a little unfair to paint her as some sort of devious liar who tricked you into marrying her. She may have been naive and just thought it would all work out and she'd get pregnant when the time came. Or maybe at the time, she didn't appreciate how much the medical issue was going to impact her fertility later in life. Has she seen a fertility expert? Maybe there are still options open to you. OP responds, as I said, I haven't even gotten to the bottom of this. Once the truth hit me, I was like on autopilot, didn't hear anything. I believe I should talk with her, but my mind keeps questioning. A Reddit user says, so, my take on this is, yes, she lied to you, broke your trust. The doctors told her there was a negligible chance she could have children. If she still has a womb, meaning she didn't have a hysterectomy, she could still carry your children.
You could do in vitro fertilization. I think you need to go home and talk to your wife. Perhaps counseling to get through this. Good luck to you.
OP responds, "Yeah, I know, but I don't know how I will react."
Just over a week later, the OP returns with an update, sharing what has transpired since that shocking revelation about his wife's infertility. He says,
First post.
I posted the first one from my laptop while working, just venting everything I felt at the moment. I think it came off as one-sided, so I want to give more context and clear up a few things people kept asking. Sorry if this isn't super coherent. Some context about her I already knew. She's an only child. Her family lived paycheck to paycheck. Her mum left when she was 13 and her dad raised her alone. He later turned alcoholic and abusive. When we met around 18, she already had anxiety, abandonment, and trust issues. Her dad died when she was 19. Early in our relationship, I helped her get some therapy however I could, and she leaned on me for everything. After her dad passed, I moved her in and my family became hers. A lot of you told me to face it, and my mum also called, saying the same. So the next morning, I went home. She was a mess, and the house was too. When she saw me, she just froze for a second, then broke down and came to me crying and apologizing. I got her to sit down and calm, made something for us, and we finally talked. The part she'd hidden. When she was 16, she had surgery to remove a cyst in her ovary. There were complications that caused internal scarring, and doctors told her a toned-down version of natural pregnancy was extremely unlikely. That surgery put her dad into debt. Later, he spiraled into alcohol, stopped coming home, blamed her for being damaged goods like her mum, always messing up his life, and started harassing her. That messed her up. She never had a checkup after that. Before we met, she was broke and barely coping with everything.
After we got together, she said she didn't have the courage to find out more, scared of what she might hear, and terrified of losing me if I found out.
She hoped for a miracle after reading stories of women getting pregnant despite similar issues. Everything fell apart when I brought up getting checked. I got myself checked secretly, just to be sure, so I wouldn't stress her unnecessarily. Upon hearing her out, I lost my cool and went off on her for hiding something so serious. I told her I needed space and asked her to stay with my parents for a while so I could think clearly. She broke down, begged me not to leave, and said she'd do anything to make it work. I dropped her at my parents' place. By day 2, I realized I genuinely missed her. The house felt empty without her. I brought her back home. What she did hurt me deeply, but I realized I couldn't just throw her away like some of you said, because I still love her. We're not talking much right now. I'm still processing it all, taking one step at a time. Many pointed out that if she hid something this serious, she could be hiding more. Honestly, that makes me uneasy.
All right, let me tell you something.
This story left me absolutely speechless. So, the wife hides this massive bombshell for God knows how long, and now the truth finally surfaces. Honestly, I can't even comprehend the emotional rollercoaster OP is strapped into right now. And here's where it gets ridiculous. She didn't just hide an innocent secret. No, she hid something that shaped the very future they'd envisaged together. Kids. And sure, I get it, her past is heartbreakingly tragic, with a neglectful father and lingering scars of abandonment. But to not say anything for years? That's an entirely different ballgame. But you know what makes it worse? People in the comments were actually suggesting OP just discard her like yesterday's news. Are you kidding me? Relationships are complex and layered, and love isn't something you can just switch off. I know I'm not the only one conflicted here. Share your thoughts below. Seriously, does loving someone mean overlooking such enormous betrayal?
A Reddit user says, I think she's never brought it up because of the trauma it caused her. She probably blames herself for her dad's alcoholism and passing from what he said to her. You're right to be angry, but I think that once you've cooled down, you should really look at the reason why, because that's some serious stuff. And while I'd be upset, it would give me some clarity. Edit to add, it sounds like she was also in denial, and acknowledging it makes all her trauma that much more real. Like maybe she thought that if she could get pregnant, then all the stuff with her dad after the surgery would have been worth it if it meant carrying her own children. It's sad all around, and I hope the original poster doesn't give up on her. A Reddit user says, I'm going to get blasted for this, but what a tragedy. My heart breaks for her. 1. Her original trauma taught her that she was disposable and damaged. If she admits this, she'll be abandoned and unlovable. 2. She spent years hiding this trauma from him, certain that being honest wasn't safe, that he would never love her if he knew. 3. When the truth finally came out, his reaction, while understandable because of his own trauma and devastation, proved her deepest fears and her clear understanding of the world, of herself. He got furious. He left. He cut her off. A mirror of her father's, albeit slower, reaction. 4. Now he brought her back, and they'll rebuild the marriage slowly. But she'll always know, I'm disposable. I'm broken. I'm unlovable. And it's only by a miracle that he still wants me. Now I can never fail again or be damaged, or he'll leave for good. If anything, he's taught her to hide things better because it's not safe to be honest. It's bad and rough all around, but a come-together moment, a chance to put aside his anger and hurt and show her that no matter what, she's loved and will never be abandoned. Now will just never happen. It just breaks my heart. I get that this was huge. I get that his reaction was perfectly normal. But it tragically will destroy her even further, and that breaks my heart. OP Pop's response: Thanks for this point of view. I haven't thought this way. I will help her. A month later, the OP comes with an update and says,
Previous post. It has been a month since my last update. Things didn't go the way I expected, but not in a bad way. My wife and I had the long heart-to-heart we'd been avoiding. There was a lot of crying, talking, and, honestly, a lot of relief. She's in therapy now and putting in real effort. As for me, I'm working through things on my own. I can see changes, like she's calmer, more present, and genuinely happier. I'm focusing on her well-being for now. I decided to meet a fertility specialist only after I'm sure she's emotionally okay. Something I realized during all this is that after marriage, I'd started taking her for granted. So I'm trying to change our dynamic back to a boyfriend-girlfriend phase again, and for a while, things did feel almost normal. Then 2 nights ago, she woke me up in the middle of the night after crying for hours, I think. She said she was terrified I'd eventually leave her because she might never be able to be a mother. She kept apologizing and begging me not to abandon her. I consoled her and assured her until she fell asleep holding on to me. The next day, I spoke to her therapist. She said therapy is pulling up old trauma and that fear of abandonment can surface suddenly, even when things seem stable. She also said it might happen again and not to worry. On top of all this, work has been overwhelming. I took on a new project months before all this, and I haven't been able to spend as much time with her as before now. I think everything hit her at once. Right now, I'm just trying to keep things steady for both of us. There's a lot on my plate, and I'm tired, but I'm trying. Our next story comes from Objective Curve 8101 in the Am I the Asshole subreddit, and it says, Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit after realizing my sister was using me as leverage in her relationship? My sister has a child with her boyfriend. They argue often, and she constantly uses her daughter as proof that she deserves more attention or sympathy. Whenever they fight, she drops the child with me so she can leave and make her boyfriend chase her. Last week, she asked me to babysit again. I said I had work early the next day and could not. She immediately launched into a speech about how I never support her and how she is a struggling mother and I should be grateful I can help her. Later, I found out she had told her boyfriend I agreed to watch the child so she could go out with her friends. She had already made plans while lying about it to both of us. When her boyfriend found out the truth, he confronted her, and she told him I bailed at the last second. She tried to use me as the villain in their argument. I confronted her, and she said I made everything worse by not cooperating. Someone says, Not the a-hole. You should be grateful you can help me. Can't understand why your sister is going to end up a single mom. Someone says, Not the a-hole. I hate people that weaponize their children. It's just absolutely hideous and disgusting. You are never the a-hole for trying to do the right thing for a child. About 2 weeks later, the OP shares an update on the situation, stating, So after the whole situation where my sister lied to both me and her boyfriend, things got even more chaotic. Her boyfriend eventually reached out to me directly. He apologized for the argument and said he just wanted to know what actually happened because my sister's story didn't make sense. I told him the truth calmly, that I said no because I had work early and that she still made plans behind everyone's back. He wasn't even surprised. Apparently, she has done variations of this before, just not as blatantly. He ended up confronting her again, and this time he told her he wasn't going to argue if she was going to drag other people into their issues. She immediately called me angry, saying I should have covered for her so she wouldn't look bad. According to her, I made everything 10 times worse by being honest. I told her flat out that I'm not going to lie for her or be used as a prop in her relationship drama. That set her off even more. She accused me of not supporting her as a single mum, even though she's in a relationship and only decides she's single when they're fighting. Since then, I've put some boundaries in place. I told her I will not babysit unless she asks in advance and it's for an honest reason. No more last-minute drama, no more guilt trips, and absolutely no using me as a scapegoat. She's been giving me the silent treatment ever since, which, honestly, has been peaceful. Her boyfriend, on the other hand, thanked me again for clearing things up and said he'll handle their issues without dragging anyone else in. So yeah, not the dramatic explosion I expected, but at least the truth is out and I'm no longer the family default babysitter/excuse generator.
A Reddit user says, I went through something similar a few years ago. My sister always used me as a scapegoat when she went out. She even went so far as to say that she was at my house while she was hanging out with her boyfriend. She was leaving for several days, leaving her baby at my grandmother's house, and she lied, saying that I needed help with important things. And since they have children, she had supposedly asked me not to bring her baby because it bothered me. When I found out, I went to my grandmother to tell her the truth. You are right to set limits. After that, my sister never used me as a cover again. She was angry for a while, but it was also peaceful. Over time, things were fixed. After setting limits, little by little, she changed and even became a little responsible. A Reddit user shares, I should have covered for her so she wouldn't look bad. I made everything 10 times worse by being honest. If the truth makes you look bad, you are bad, not the a-hole. A user named Woman in Question shares their thoughts. You told people what I did, and the truth made me look like a monster.
Oh, I swear, these kinds of family dramas just have a way of escalating into a complete circus, don't they? But you know what? Sometimes honesty really is the best policy. Okay, I had to get that off my chest before we head out. Listen, if you enjoyed this emotional rollercoaster as much as I did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And seriously, I'm dying to hear your thoughts, so hit up the comment section below. Are you the default scapegoat in your family chaos? Or maybe you've got your own explosive tales to share. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because you don't want to miss what's coming next. Trust me, there's always more drama to unpack. Oh, and one more thing. If you're itching for more, check out my latest upload. It's filled with another baffling story you won't believe. Stay tuned, people. Until next time, stay drama-free. Sort of.